Welcome to the experiment 6. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Dwita, as the assistant for this experiment. And the title of this experiment is Determination of PVA Molecular Weight. The aim of this experiment is to determine the molecular weight of PVA or polyvinyl alcohol using viscometry technique. Before we start the experiment, we have to know the theoretical background about this experiment. And the first one is PVA, which is the main compound that we will use in this experiment. So, what is PVA? PVA is kind of polymer used as a blending material for chitosan to improve thermal and mechanical stability. The PVA properties such as water solubility, mechanical stability, and flexibility are easily formed into films and non-toxic from the Journal of Parida et al. 2011 and Marina et al. 2014. And the second theoretical background is about the viscometry. Viscometry is the technique of measuring the viscosity of a fluid. The viscosity of the liquid can be determined from the measurement of the volume flow rate, the applied pressure, and the tube dimension from the journal Grade 1998. And the Oswald viscometer works with the concept of flow velocity of a fluid in a tube. The smaller the flow rate of the solution, the greater the value of viscosity from the journal Engel and Ray 2006. In this part, I will explain the methods of this experiment. As usual, it divided into two parts. There are the materials and the tools. And the materials that used in this experiment were PVOH or PVA, polyvinyl alcohol, and aqueous or distilled water. While the tools that used in this experiment were heater, beaker glass, graduated cylinder, pipette pump, analytical balance, Pasteur pipette or drops pipette, volumetric flask, and Oswald viscometer. And arrived to the procedure. So this experiment have a simple procedure, where the first step is weight 4 grams of PVA. And the other side, heat at least 200 milliliters of aqueous by heating it on the heater. Then insert the PVA into it and stir until it becomes homogeneous. After the PVA diluted in the beaker, cool down this mixture by flowing it under the tap water. And don't forget to make sure the tap water doesn't fall into this beaker. Then this mixture pour into 250 milliliters of volumetric flask and shake it until it becomes homogeneous. And then take 50 milliliters from this solution and dilute it in 100 milliliters of volumetric flask. In this condition, the concentration of the mixture is 1.6 gram over 100 milliliters and label this solution as the stock solution. I repeat it again. In this condition, the concentration of the mixture is 1.6 gram over 100 milliliters and label this solution as the stock solution. After that, make some variant concentration from this stock solution into the variant of 0.8, 0.4, 0.2, and 0.1 gram over 100 milliliters. And then, measure the viscosity for each concentration by using Oswald viscometer. And the viscosity of aqueous also be measured as the relative comparison. For each measurement, make sure to wash the Oswald viscometry using diluted acetic acid. Because if the Oswald didn't wash with the acetic acid, the tube of Oswald have possibility present of bubbles that it will distract the measurement. And the question is how the Oswald viscometry works. And in this part, I will explain the principle of Oswald viscometry. And the steps are: first, pour the solution into this tube from the top of the right arm, which is above of C. Then the pipette pump tied above the A, which is the left arm. Pull the pressure by pushing the pipette pump, so the solution goes from C into A. And then calculate the time that solution needed to go from A into B. And this is the experimental data. So from the Oswald, you will get the data of time. Look at this table. The first column is the number. The second column is the variant of concentration. The third column is TO. It means the time of aqueous. Like I mentioned before, that TO as the relative comparison. I repeat again that TO means the time of aqueous. And the last column is the time for each concentration. This is the calculation. Look at the left of the slide. As I mentioned before, the concentration of stock solution is 1.6 grams over 100 milliliters. Like you know that to get the concentration of 0.8 grams over 100 milliliters from the stock solution, you have to dilute 50 milliliters of stock solution in the 100 milliliters of volumetric flush. But for the report, you don't have to calculate all of this volume. Ignore the volume calculation. And in the report, you calculate the mu r and the mu r over C, which you have to fulfill all of this table data. After you get the fulfilled table data from the previous slide, then make the graph of concentration PVA versus mu r over C, where the x-axis is the concentration and the y-axis is the mu r over C. Then you will get the line equation, which y equal to mx plus c. From this line equation, the intercept is the c, which means the mu value or mu concentration. And follow this formula and get the molecular weight and the degree of polymerization. Thank you so much for watching this video. Sorry if I made any mistake, and see you on the online practicum.